All right. Welcome to the 8th episode of the Coin Flip.
Oh yeah, baby.
8th episode. We're hyped.
Episode. I'm Will, and there's Chris.
I'm happy to be back here on the reboot episode, and it's gonna be quite a ride moving forward.
And Connor.
Happy New Year, people, and the Commanders are still the best team.
Shut up.
All right.
So, the reason that we took the break was not for any real reason, just we're lazy and didn't really want to do the work. Because you guys might not know this, but it's a really tough job behind the scenes.
It is. There's lots of outlining and thinking.
We had one little conflict.
Yeah, there was one little conflict.
Yeah, Chris's parents did suspend him because his grades were suffering.
Gotta get some grades up, man.
We're not going to go into detail.
Academics over podcasts, but
It's an academic weapon.
that's gonna bring us straight into our first topic of the return episode. And as you guys cannot tell, unless you've been living under a rock the past couple weeks, 2 weeks, it is bowl season. And bowl season, after yesterday's last game, has been wrapped up. And for me, bowl season is a holiday. It is not a period of time. It's a holiday. Bowl season.
It also comes around to important holidays.
Yes.
So,
Bowl season.
Christmas.
Bowl season is some of the greatest football that you watch, and we're gonna go through that today. We're gonna instead of doing a recap, we're gonna recap some of the games, but we're also gonna go through our favorites and most disappointing games. And Will or Connor, if you just want to read through some of the games, we can go in and just talk a little bit about them.
I'll hand this one to Connor.
All right, bet. The games this year, maybe like top 2 years. But first we got Oregon versus North Carolina.
As a UNC fan, I thought this game. I mean, we had our 2 main wide receivers out, but I think
Andre Green.
But Andre Green, freshman. I believe he went to school in Richmond, Virginia. I think
He might have.
I was reading that on his ESPN when I saw that he scored. He was a freshman. He had to step up because
went to some school. It was like St. Christopher's High School.
Was it prep? I think it was a prep school, right? St. Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was St. Chris Prep.
I don't really know the name.
They have a good. They have a really good lacrosse program. I think they've won a lot of state championships.
Oh, really?
I don't know really anything beyond that.
I'm reading some reviews.
I thought UNC was going to win this game.
I thought we did.
They should have.
Noah Burnett missed a 25-yard kick, and while we were gone, there was lots of Noah Burnett slander going on around social media platforms, mostly fueled by me myself. But I wasn't able to get on this podcast, and
another Noah had a lot of
throw away all my anger. But we'll get to the other Noah later. I'm gonna go to the next game. This game and one other game was one of my favorite bowl games to watch.
Fantastic game.
It was Kansas versus their cheap ripoff Kansas. It was 55-53.
I thought Kansas was going to win. Honestly, I thought they had it.
It was
They came back down like 20.
It was a triple OT game. The quarterback kind of sold on the last play.
They were going to come back and win.
Well, yeah, that would have been cool if they did, but they didn't end up pulling it out after 3 OTs. But they were down like.
Yeah, they were down major, and they had a couple onside kicks and some nice stuff.
They just couldn't follow it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll take the next game. So,
Go for it.
Texas versus Washington.
Washington.
Bijan Robinson sat out this game, so obviously Texas was missing probably their biggest weapon.
For sure.
And
Funny story. Bijan Robinson has his own personal line of Dijon mustard. Just thought that was funny to throw in. But number 12 Washington ended up pulling out as the favorite, and they beat Texas 27-20.
I'm surprised that Texas was able to keep it so close without Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
But didn't Penix also sit out this game?
No, I think Penix played.
Oh, okay.
But they had Wayne Tuapapa, who used to go to UVA, and he had a good game.
Yeah, he was a transfer from UVA. Me and Connor are also UVA fans for college, even though Connor's also an Ohio State fan. He was never really good at UVA.
He's a dual threat.
He's doing better in Washington. So, go ACC.
All right, now we have 13th-ranked FSU cutting it close with Oklahoma State my bad. Oklahoma University. And
Sorry.
I mean,
Chris wrote OSU.
yeah, that's my bad. But one thing I just want to bring up, 2 years ago, the quarterback room in Oklahoma was Jalen Hurts, Spencer Rattler, and Caleb Williams. I just want you guys to, I just want that to sit on you guys, okay?
Well, the Spencer Rattler isn't as great, but whatever.
Oh,
He beat Tennessee with like 7 touchdowns. That was
he's doing better. You remember those like 5 games in Oklahoma where he's absolutely
terrible.
horrible?
Yeah, I
I
remember
didn't
that.
even watch him when he was in Oklahoma. I only watched like Kyler Murray.
All right, and now we'll move on to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, Maryland
Well,
versus.
hold on. I want to talk a little bit more.
Oh, my
about
bad.
that. Yeah, so FSU, I think they were favored by like 10, and they should have won the game more. This is probably Oklahoma's probably. I'd say it's their worst season in like the past 10 years.
I could agree with that.
You know, just an all-around train
It's
wreck.
always been good.
They were not
It is.
nearly as good without Lincoln Riley this season, and they'll have to find someone that can replace him.
Yeah, I think so. But we're gonna move on to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, Maryland, NC State. One dude touched the ends in this game. It was pretty boring. I don't think a lot of people watched it, but
I didn't watch this game.
it was 16-12 Maryland.
Yeah, I
It
don't
was
think I
kind of
watched
boring,
that.
but like,
NC State still probably should have won though. Because,
yeah, for sure. But they found a way to lose.
Tua's brother is actually pretty.
He's not bad. He's a dog. He's good.
He's not bad. He'll go to the NFL. I don't know if he'll be a starter at any point. But
Yeah.
he will go to the league.
Maybe he'll go to the Redskins or Commanders. My bad. But
Chris, we're not trying to get canceled here.
all right, now we'll move on to Pitt, UCLA. I think DTR should have been in the Heisman conversation. I'm just gonna throw that out there. He's an exceptionally good quarterback.
No, he's not that good.
CJ Stroud.
All right, we can agree on one thing. Stetson Bennett did not deserve to get the
No.
invite.
Okay, but that's a different conversation. This was a fantastic game
It was good.
to watch. Pitt coming in and pulling off the upset. You know, it's
Go Pittsburgh.
probably one of the it's a top 4 bowl game.
I'm gonna stretch at the top 5, but
Top
that's just
5.
me.
Because there's 4 I would put above it. Yeah.
I think Pitt found a way after they basically lost their main source of offense last year. Their 2 guys, Jordan Addison and Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
And
Jordan
they
Addison
also, their
had
defense hasn't been as good after DeMar Hamlin left from Pitt. Prayers up to him, but
We'll talk about that later.
yeah.
We're gonna.
But I'm surprised Pitt. I mean, Kendon Slovis came in and filled big shoes and little hands, but I think
Okay, Chris.
I think he did pretty well.
I want you to stop the Kenny
Okay,
Pickett
let's do
references.
the next game. All right, Notre Dame,
South Carolina,
South Carolina.
45-38.
Another great game, top 25 matchup.
I mean,
I actually watched some of this game, and I didn't even think it was that bad. I thought it was very interesting.
it also featured one of the. I'm gonna say with this, it featured the best catch of bowl season.
Yeah.
As hard as it is to say that, it was like Spencer Rattler had the ball. They were like on their own 40, I believe.
Yeah.
Dropped
I saw
back.
that.
Back left of the end zone. Back
Yeah, it was like, and he was like a back shoulder too. He turned around and barely got that foot in.
back shoulder, back left, and
And
I'm
he
look,
absolutely ate it when he hit the ground.
he
went down
definitely
hard.
ate it. It was Xavier Leggett, 42-yard pass from Spencer Rattler, and it was wild. His foot like flung in like a windmill, barely touched the bottom of the grass. It was one of the better catches.
I mean, this was, obviously, this was a great little comeback story for Spencer Rattler this year.
I thought for sure South Carolina's gonna win it after they had the 100-yard pick six when when Notre Dame was in the red zone. I thought that was a huge momentum turning point, and I mean their defense showed up. They had 2 pick sixes in the game.
Yeah.
All right, would we like to move on?
Yeah.
We'll go to.
So, I'll take this one.
All right, go for
Tennessee, Clemson. On paper, this is one of the best bowls of the year. Orange Bowl is always a great one.
I had Tennessee.
But Tennessee ended up rolling. Even their I don't know his name. It's their quarterback that's not him.
Cade Klubnik. Oh no,
Yep.
Joe Milton.
he's looking like next season he'll be a star.
He'll
Um,
fill big shoes and injury-prone ACLs.
yeah.
But I think this was, if you don't mind me just saying something real quick, I think this was the most disappointing bowl game out of all of them. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
put a lot
say
of
that.
I thought it was actually going to be really good, but then Tennessee.
Well, yeah, they just yeah.
All right,
But
well,
it was fun to watch that Tennessee quarterback. He looked really good. He'll be a star next season.
and now we'll be moving on into probably the day of where the best bowl games happened. It wasn't even the game that we're about to go to. It was literally the the semifinals. But Alabama KSU, 5 ranked versus 9 ranked, 45-20. Alabama, Bryce Young, last game for Alabama, popped off. He went crazy.
It looked at first K-State was up 14-0, and I was really getting my hopes up.
Yeah, me too.
But
then it all fell from there.
They were not able to pull it out.
Yeah, I feel like everybody wanted Kansas State to win. I feel like America wins when Alabama loses. That's what I'm saying.
And I think that has gave me a lot more appreciation for Bryce Young.
Yeah, it definitely did.
That he didn't sit out this bowl game,
and he wanted to play it.
He wanted to play his last game.
He's a franchise man.
I hate it when players do that, when they sit out the bowl game. Like, you essentially leave your team for the most important game of the season.
Exactly.
It makes no sense to me.
And I think, honestly, he's obviously going to go to the Texans, correct, as the 1 pick. And I think,
yeah, probably.
Most likely. Here's the thing with the people going to number 1 overall, to the worst team. They're getting put behind a terrible team with a bad O-line and a bad wide receivers.
Usually, well, the Texans O-line isn't terrible.
Well, they have Laramie Tunstall.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. And they have Brandon Cooks. But maybe they'll do something in the offseason, try to get some more people to provide for Bryce Young. But I just think his size isn't going to be able to prevail. You can't have a 6-foot quarterback. That's why I think
Bryce Young in college.
I think Will Levis will be the best quarterback out of the draft.
No, that is an outrageous take, Chris.
Or CJ Stroud.
I think CJ Stroud will end up being the best quarterback, but Bryce Young will get number 1 overall.
Bryce Young and
here's my take. Bryce Young has a higher ceiling, but CJ Stroud has a higher floor. If that makes sense.
I actually think.
But Will Levis is the most consistent.
To go to the Commanders because the Commanders need a quarterback.
Okay, thank you, Connor.
The last time the Commanders got like a quarterback out of Ohio State.
All right, let's not go there.
Yeah, no. Connor, we're done. We're not going down that road.
But
you. All right. Next game, number 3 TCU, number 2 Michigan.
This was so good.
Best game.
The first of 2 of the best college football semifinals.
That was the appetizer.
TCU, I did not think they would be able to pull it out, but
I thought
they had a strong first half, and even when Michigan had all that momentum with about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, or about that, TCU was able to weather the storm.
Yep.
And pull out the W.
And I'm not going to try to be any bias or thing. I'm not trying to start any arguments, but I believe that last play of the game was probably targeting. I think he was defenseless.
Yeah, a lot of people think it was.
That might be a controversial play, but like they weren't going 75 yards with that. 6 seconds left. But this was third highest scoring bowl game or semifinal game of all time, I believe. And TCU, their defense, everybody had their defense last out of all the teams in the playoff, and I mean,
which it probably is.
It probably is, but they showed up when they needed it.
Hold on, sorry. I saw this take on TikTok, and I think it is true from what I've seen in the past couple of years with the Kansas City Chiefs, and this great offense beats great defense. Because Michigan and Georgia are said to have, no one's disagreeing. They have the 2 best defenses in college football, right?
Yeah.
TCU has a great offense, scores 51 on the second best defense. Ohio State also has a great offense, scores 41, should have been 44, but 41 on the best defense in college football. So I think what we're starting to see, and you can see this in the NFL too, the Chiefs. If you see the Chiefs play the best defense, they will still score like 25 a game.
Who are we calling the best defense, or can we move on to that later?
No, we'll talk about NFL later.
But I think this is like a turning point on trends where there's going to be a lot more scoring heading forward. I think I honestly believe that.
And I don't know if that's a good thing.
I don't think it's a good thing either. My favorite football games are the games in the rain when the score is 6-3.
No, okay,
No,
Chris,
I
no.
like that Super Bowl one year when it was like what 10-3 or something.
The Commanders 49ers game a couple years ago is awesome.
The best games are games that end up like 30-27 or something, where you'll
Games
see.
that end up in like 15 overtime.
No. Okay, you know what? We're done.
No,
We're
it
done.
was in October 20th, 2019. Redskins at the time lose to the 49ers
No.
9-0 in a sloppy
Chris,
Red
we get
Sox
it.
game.
Chris, we get it.
Yeah, we know. We remember Nick Bosa.
All right, going on to the best team in college football, Ohio State.
No.
Nope.
No.
All right. The best game of the day.
No, I'd say TCU Michigan was better because of the high
I
score.
think
No, Christopher, I don't want to hear it.
All right, fine. All right, we can go different ways.
Played out of his mind.
DJ
and
Stroud maybe played the best game in college he's ever played that game.
He improved his draft stock greatly.
I think
Yeah,
CJ Stroud entered that game at like 7th projected pick. I think he's up to a top 5 pick because of that.
Yeah, probably.
And maybe if Ohio State had Jackson Smith,
You can see
they'd have won it.
the best play. Also, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best receiver in college.
I think they would have
He's gonna
won.
be- He's already better than some NFL receivers. I'm telling you right now.
That's
Do you think he'll be better than his dad?
Mm,
I don't think he'll be that good.
I don't know.
I think
pretty good.
I think Ohio State would have won if they had Marvin Harrison Jr. And that was the worst call. That was targeting that call.
Yeah.
The back of the end
And
zone.
guess what?
But
I
that play
I
was
think
in-
Ohio
no,
State
the
would have
play
won
was
if
CJ
Noah
Stroud
Rogers made the field goal.
Kept it alive and scrambled for like
Yeah.
7 seconds.
And then he threw it. And then he threw it
It
on
was
a
the first touchdown, I think.
yeah. He threw it on a frozen rope straight to Marvin Harrison. That was wild.
Alright, so but they were up what, like 38-25? I
Here,
think?
I'll look at it.
It was like
They were up.
Yeah, they were up by a good amount.
They were up by 2 possessions. I stopped watching the game and I went outside to play basketball. I came back. It was 42-41. 8 seconds left, and they're lined up for a field goal. I thought they were gonna win this game because Noah Rogers has made clutch kicks like this in his
Poor
career.
guy.
But we know about
Misses it 20 feet left. I was so sad.
we know about kickers named Noah that went to UNC. So
We know about kickers named Noah that went to Ohio State. He maybe had the worst kick of his life in that one moment.
yeah.
5 seconds
into the new
in the
year.
year, he might have already had the worst kick of the year. 5 seconds.
Easily.
I
I
can't really blame him though. You know, like the circumstances that he had, like a
The
50
pressure
yarder,
has to be insane.
a 50-yarder to go to the national championship,
The pressure on him
Like-
has to be insane.
It has to
and
be.
and with the loud stadium, and Ohio State was playing away. They literally dropped 41.
I don't think that's fair that Georgia gets to go in the Peach Bowl like in there.
That
in there.
was essentially a home field advantage.
Ohio State stepped up to that challenge, so they dropped 41.
I think they did. All right, we have. Is that are
Yeah,
we?
we need to keep moving.
Is that the final bowl game that was on our list? Oh no, we have the ones that were today.
No, we got a
yesterday.
couple more, but
I think they're
only two.
irrelevant.
All right.
The Tulane game and the Purdue game.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Mississippi State game though.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Michael Leach. He died a couple weeks ago. He was the Mississippi State head coach. Mississippi State went into this game playing for him, and they gritted their teeth, and they came out with the win. The score is 19-10, but it was really 13-10. They had the kick with 9 seconds left,
That was crazy.
and then Illinois did like the lateral thing, and it ended up being a touchdown for Mississippi State. But
Yeah, well, I think that, Illinois is not ranked, but don't be fooled. They are a good football team. They're probably top 30.
I think so.
But
Ooh, I have something, Will.
24-3 earlier in the season.
Yeah.
So,
I have something. I think that they should extend the rankings up to 30 instead of 25.
well, that's for a different time.
Okay. All right, LSU
LSU
Purdue.
Purdue,
We don't need to talk about this, Will. LSU Purdue.
extremely disappointing.
63-7.
Henry Rodgers.
Or not JT Daniels. What am I saying? What's the LSU QB again?
Daniels. It's Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. Yeah, he had a great game, just like the rest of their team, and yeah, they killed Purdue.
Yeah.
I mean, Purdue didn't have a chance.
Tulane, USC. One of the top games of the.
My personal favorite game. The comeback was wild. But-
I personally didn't think Tulane really had a chance in this game, but clearly they did.
As hard as it had.
Tulane clutched up.
As
Final drive with that catch and then the targeting call.
yeah.
was.
Well,
pretty
that
insane.
looks sad. White chocolate laid the wood.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna go through the stat line for this game because the leading passing, rushing, and receiving, like the leaders, are crazy. Kale Williams, leading passer, 37 for 52, 462 yards, 5 touchdowns. If there was a doubt about him being the Heisman, I think
He deserved it.
he
Connor,
deserved it.
You can't really argue C.J. Stroud.
See, I can, but if they counted that, I think it would still be Caleb Williams. Honestly, if they counted that, the bowl game. But I thought C.J. Stroud maybe had one of his best years.
I think that they should choose the Heisman winner after the bowl games.
Well,
Because some teams like Ohio State have a Mickey Mouse schedule and don't have to play a single good team until the last game, and then they get show that they're frauds. Yet C.J. Stroud still gets the invite.
they did play Penn State, who handedly won the Rose Bowl.
Okay, but I mean, I think it shows it because you're guaranteed to play against a good team if you're on a good team. So that just make it a little bit more interesting. But if that was the format, Caleb Williams easily would have had it locked up.
Fantastic game.
The Tulane
No-huddle offense is very hard to stop.
the Tulane's one where they all wear the wristbands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something about that. All right, here's this one. Ty J. Spears, Tulane Wave, running back, 17 carries, 205 yards, 4 touchdowns. Will, since you're sitting there, do the fantasy math. See how many fantasy points that is. It's 20 plus 24. So he had 44 fantasy points, and that's not even counting receptions.
Hold on. Also, most leagues have this. You take the 200-yard bonus for a running back. That's 2 extra points, so it's 46.
But we also have receptions, and he had.
How many? Wait, so what are we at right now? 46 point what?
He had 1 for 14, so it'd be 48.4 or something like that. He had 48 fantasy points. If you do college fantasy, that's wild. Like,
and 17 carries for that. That's over 10 yards a carry.
And their quarterback also had
insane.
Their quarterback also had 83 yards too. So their running is looking like the Carolina Panthers too. All right, last game, Rose Bowl.
Disappointing. Penn State and Utah. Penn State rolled the entire game. I would have liked to see
Cam Rising play.
14. I would have liked to see if USC or if Utah could have kept it close if Cam Rising did not get hurt.
I think if Cam Rising stayed in, they'd definitely be able to do something a little bit more.
They were not the same team without him.
Oh, hot take! The Rose Bowl is personally my favorite bowl game. Like I just like the
That's
the
not
vibe.
a hot take.
Who did Ohio State play in the
My opinion.
Oh, last year
they played Utah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. Oh, me and my brother calculated this out. You remember Jackson Smith and Jigba had like 300 receiving yards in the Rose Bowl last year? He had 69.7 fantasy points.
See, that's Jackson Smith and Jigba. If Ohio State had him in the same kind of game, they would have won.
But I just want to say that I just want to throw this out to the Noah Ruggles haters. Noah Ruggles won the Rose Bowl for y'all.
He won the game.
Also,
yeah, he did last year.
I mean, Utah was also in the Rose Bowl last year, and Cameron Rising had himself a performance. 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, 92 yards on the ground, and a touchdown. And I would have loved to see what it would have been like if Cam Rising was playing in that game.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, we're gonna move on.
We're gonna move on to.
You haven't really had a big piece this episode
Have I talked about Ohio State?
Connor, why don't you talk about the Natty and what we have on our outline?
We'll get
so I technically could be a Georgia fan because my mom was born in Georgia.
Hey, buddy, I want you to stop it.
But
everyone's rooting for TCU.
I'm rooting for Georgia. I don't care. I'm rooting for Georgia.
Thank you, Connor. Thank you.
I like Georgia's chances. Stetson Bennett. And who's that tight end again?
Brock Bowers and Jalen Washington.
Yeah.
Mainly Brock Bowers.
No, Jalen Washington's better.
Brock Bowers is maybe the tight end I've seen.
Or whatever his name is.
He's amazing. But
he's very good.
I definitely think TCU.
Darnell Washington. All right.
I actually think there's going to be a lot more TCU fans than Georgia fans there.
It's in LA.
I don't know.
I think
all right.
Fan base.
Now for my favorite part of big games, the betting quarter. We have Georgia minus 12.5. I think that's where it should be. I think they could. It's either going to be a sizable deficit of a game, or it's going to be close packed, but we haven't
So
seen it.
I'm gonna take Georgia, but I'm not gonna take the spread. I think Georgia wins
Well, no,
by a
because
score of 37-27.
national
meaning that
championships are
TCU
always blowouts.
They usually are, but I don't know. I just feel like TCU will be able to keep it closer.
Yeah, I feel like they're not bad. Over under 62.
TCU has a good chance. I just still think Georgia.
Over
They
under.
do. I don't think they'll win, but
I think they're gonna keep.
I
it
think
close.
they'll put in a hell of
my
a
score
fight.
prediction is 37-27.
Mine's
My score
42
prediction,
to
42
to 35. Yeah, mine too. Over under 62.5. I think that'll
Taking
hit.
the over.
I think that'll hit. It'll be a heavy game. And then the money line's minus 480. So Vegas has Georgia winning by a lot.
Yeah.
That's how much the I have a fun fact for you guys quick. That's how much the Donovan Edwards anytime touchdown was. It was minus 480. So for people that aren't into sports betting, that means you'd have to pay $480 just to win 100, and he didn't get a rushing touchdown. So Vegas definitely won a lot of money on that. All right, now we're gonna flip gears into the NFL. I've written down some.
Hey, let's let Connor take this.
All right, yeah, Connor, just read through the main talking points that I had.
I think we just should have a little prayer for DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah.
Let's just do that right now.
I don't really have really prayer.
Here,
I'll just do a quick prayer.
I'll read the Sauce Gardner one.
We'll just get Christopher to just read his remarks.
All right, so I'm not trying to be too religious because I know people can get sensitive about that stuff, but
we want all cultures to be able to enjoy the coin flip.
yes, we're just gonna read the tweet that Sauce Gardner posted, and that's just a short prayer, and I think
I've seen
that should do. It says, "Father God, I pray that Damar Hamlin is okay and here with us. I also ask that he have a speedy recovery mentally and physically. God, in Jesus' name, Amen." That's all I feel like that on that needs to happen.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the
Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
All right, now that we're done with that, let's head into the NFL. I'm just gonna read some main talking points that I have. This is from my opinion. You guys, I'm encouraging you guys to just step in, say whatever you want, and we'll go from there. All right, first one, Jarrett Studham is totally the solution in Vegas, putting second most against the best defense in the league, in my opinion, behind the Chiefs, which was had Patty Mahomes. But
let's slow down there. He had a good game, but he is not the solution.
he's better than Derek Carr.
He's better than Derek Carr, but they're not going to rock with Jarrett Stidham.
Yes, they are. He understood the assignment. Let Devontae Adams cook, and that's what he did. And they almost won against the Super Bowl favorite.
That is a hot take.
It is smoking hot.
It is burning. It's wrong.
No, it's not. It's all right. We can move on from that one. But next one. Kenny Pickett had a nice drive at the end of the game against the Ravens, but against good teams, he can't wait until the final drive to try to win a game.
That's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
He can't wait till the last.
He can't. He can't stall out until the last 3 minutes.
As you
And
guys know, I'm a Steelers fan. I was actually at this game, so I can probably give some, more in-depth takeaways.
for sure,
The entire game, the Steelers, we played solid, but it didn't feel like we played great. Our offense would take the ball down the field and then just kind of stall it out, and our defense played solid, but we could not stop Mark Andrews we
likely.
J.K. Dobbins kind of in check, but he also had a good day. If they had Lamar Jackson and Calais Campbell, I think that we would have not won that game. Because if we couldn't stop J.K. Dobbins on the ground, I don't know how we could have stopped Lamar.
Yep. Shout out.
If the Ravens had Lamar, I think y'all would have lost that game.
Yeah, and if Calais Campbell was there, Najee Harris would not have had the big day that he did.
For sure.
Speaking of him, that's by far his best game of the season. He had
Easily.
a great game.
That catch was so crispy too.
For 110 yards, I think.
I
also
think it was
had
that.
Big receiving touchdown at the end.
That was
But
wild.
yeah, Chris, you're right. Can't wait for the final drive to score your only touchdown of the game. If we were playing, say, the Chiefs,
That's not
it's
happening.
just not going to work.
That's not going to happen. And but I mean, Kenny Pickett is looking solid the past 2 games. Like,
Yeah.
he's not looking like a bust. Like, he looks like he could be okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, I have the Dolphins are dust without Tua, and
The Dolphins might be the streakiest team in the NFL. They went 3-0, then 3-3,
I
then
think
8-3, and now they are 8-8.
yeah, I think
actually thought they were gonna make the playoffs easily when they were
They
8-3.
they might now. They just need to beat the Jets.
yeah, that's it. Or the
and Patriots need to lose.
or the Patriots or the Steelers
No,
win.
they need the Patriots to lose. It's not an or, it's an and.
No, I'm talking about wait, so if the Jets or if the Patriots lose, the Dolphins lose, and the Steelers lose, who's in?
I think it might be the.
I think it's the Dolphins, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just go with the
No,
Dolphins.
the Jets are already out of contention.
Yeah, the Jets are eliminated, so I think it's the Dolphins. Yeah.
Which is also the Jets. The wrong conference. The Jets might rest their starters because.
I think they could legitimately do that.
Yeah, we don't know.
All right, next one. The Cowboys actually have a chance of winning the NFC East, and they could win the NFC 1 seed, actually.
They do. Gardner Minshew looked absolutely horrendous.
I mean, this could be an overreaction, but if it's Justin Hurts, not the team. I'm just gonna say that, or not Justin Hurts, Jalen Hurts. My bad. It's Jalen Hurts, not the team.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were, speculating. Like, oh, any QB could have an MVP caliber season behind that O line with those weapons.
Yeah, and then Gardner Minshew.
A lot of QBs could, but not every QB. I think maybe about 10 QBs in the league would have the season that Jalen Hurts did.
I can.
But you can't just grab any quarterback off the street and make him that successful.
And
now, a team you can do that with.
Wait, one second.
Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, can we say something real quick?
Anybody and he'll be good.
Can we say something? Can I say something real quick? So you say that any quarterback could be put on the Eagles and they behind that. I'm just saying that's what a lot of people say. So they say you could put any quarterback on the Eagles behind that O line and they would win. But you're also talking about the O line that gave up 6 total sacks to the Saints. They let Cam Jordan sack the quarterback 3 times.
Oh, they just didn't have a good day, I guess.
They just didn't play well. But
have a good day. The Washington football team.
No, you didn't. You lost.
Only bright spot of it.
I said they did not have a good day.
Oh, I thought you said who did have a good day.
No.
They had a bad day.
Only bright spot of the game, AJ Brown's long touchdown. I don't know the exact amount, but only good thing. All right, next one. Nick Foles ain't it, and neither is Kayvon Thibodeau's celebration.
Oh that, bro, you can't be doing that video.
You can't do that. He's getting fined over 10K.
Yeah,
easily.
But Nick Foles is definitely not it. I think we clearly saw
Nick
that
Foles is him.
last week, where he threw 3 interceptions in the first half.
Yeah, against
that sounds
him.
like
Derwin James nearly killed one of his receivers.
Mhm.
Which but yeah, he is terrible.
All right, next one.
Sorry, I don't want to cut it short, but I got about 5 minutes to get this done.
Let's just speed this up.
Okay, all right. Next one.
Okay.
We'll just go quick. This could be an overreaction, but the Chiefs continue to cut it close with bad teams.
They do, and if they want to make a deep playoff push, they're really going to need to.
They're going to have to stop.
All right, next one. Justin Fields is too inconsistent to be a franchise quarterback.
I think it's too early to tell. Once he has some weapons around him and a good O-line, I think that'll be a better test. I don't think we have a big enough sample size with him and how he's actually able to throw them. His running game is obviously fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know his ability to throw the ball.
All right, why don't we just do this since we're kind of cut on time? I'm just going to read each take, and you guys just say buy or sell on the take, okay?
Okay.
All right. Commanders need a QB.
Buy. They definitely do.
Yeah.
They do. I after that first interception that Carson Wentz threw, I think they should have put Heineke in.
For sure. All right, next one.
Maybe.
Rodgers and Brady potentially could pose threats to teams in the playoffs.
Sell. I'm selling.
No.
I think Rodgers could, but I don't buy
Brady.
I don't buy Brady's giant day against the Panthers.
Okay.
Now they did have J.C. Horn, who was he guarding Mike Evans?
No, J.C. Horn wasn't playing. He was hurt.
Oh, that's right.
That's why. All right, next one.
He wouldn't have had that day against J.C. Horn.
Okay, Trevor Lawrence. Despite beating the Texans 31-3, he played terrible, and it got bailed out by the Jags D and running backs.
Etienne had a great day, yeah.
Except for him, I mean, they had 3 separate running backs score touchdown. Next one.
I think Trevor Lawrence might be a top 5 QB in the league in a couple of years. It's probably too early to tell them. So,
All right, Austin Eckler deserves more respect.
No,
So,
I think he already
so,
has the respect.
Ooh, okay, that's fair.
I think he has the respect.
I don't know if he's a top 5 running back.
Okay, that's fine.
Wise he is? No.
All right, Purdy and the Niners can win it all easily.
No.
Yeah, I think they could. They're in my mind right now the second best team in the league.
So,
I don't think the Eagles' loss is really changing my mind on them much
For
because
sure.
they again didn't have Jalen Hurts.
All right.
But
I think easily is the wrong word there.
yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
wouldn't say easily.
The path is definitely there.
They definitely can, just not. I don't think about it.
Yeah, the path is there. All right, the Vikings are frauds.
Yes, I'm buying.
By
Because
Justin Jefferson
they
is their whole
have
team.
a 12-4 record and have like a minus 20 point differential.
Heavy buy.
It's I don't know.
All right, last one. This is gonna put it on a little bit more serious note before we end the episode. I don't think the Bills could recover from yesterday.
I don't think they're gonna I don't think the league should make them play another game.
I was thinking of this today. I'm saying, I pray to God that this doesn't happen. But if somehow, some way, DeMar Hamlin dies, they're not gonna. The season's over. I don't think they'll be able to finish.
I don't think the season's over. I think they might have to play the playoffs. I don't really know.
We'll see what happens.
I don't think the Bills. I feel like especially the Bills. I don't think they would want to play football anymore after what they saw happen to their team.
I think it's up to the team though.
Yeah, it's definitely up to the team.
It just depends on how they.
All right, and then we'll head into the fun fact. Of all teams in the FBS this year, TCU had the 12th best scoring margin. Michigan, Georgia, and Ohio State, top 3 in that in that order. And lastly, in the fun fact, despite having gotten Coach Prime to come in their GOAT recruiting class, Colorado had the worst scoring margin. So he's got a lot to clean up. I'm excited to see what they bring, though. I don't know why he chose Colorado. I mean, he could probably go to North Albany and manage to get a top 5 recruiting class somehow. Like, it's just that people want to play for him.
Yeah.
All right, and
he's the best corner of all time.
He might be. All right, and that's.
Before we end this, please everyone have DeMar Hamlin and his family in your thoughts and prayers.
Of course.
And we wish him a speedy recovery.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Ciao.